Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I believe we are just about ready to get started. I'll give a minute or so for just participants to enter. I see a bunch of people entering, so I'll let everyone come and trickle in. I know it's a lunch break for everyone around probably Canada, but hello and good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just going to give everyone just one more minute, get us a nice round number of participants, and I'll get us kicked off. Feel free to use the chat on the side as well to say hello, to say where you're coming from. Otherwise, we'll just begin in a minute. All right. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to a new session of the Mid-Career Conversation Series. Today's topic is titled Mastering the Art of Networking, Strategies and Insights, featuring storyteller Dolly Shao. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Natalia Kaplan, and I will be your host today. I would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone in attendance today. Some of you have attended our sessions in the past, and others may be attending their first mid-career conversation session. For those of you attending for the first time, the Mid-Career Conversations event series is a program that features a mid-career alumni storyteller sharing their own journey and highlights from their careers. You will have the opportunity to ask questions and join virtual breakout rooms to discuss your own unique journey and ambitions with other York alumni at the end. Now, at this event, this isn't a virtual event, and since we are not all gathered in the same space, I recognize the following land acknowledgement might not necessarily be for the territory you're currently on. If this is the case, please take the responsibility to acknowledge the traditional territory you are on and the current treaty holders. As a member of the York University community, I recognize many Indigenous nations have long-standing relationships with the territories upon which York University campuses are located that precede the establishment of York University. York University acknowledges its presence on the traditional territory of many Indigenous nations. The area known as Takaranto has been caretaken by the Anishinaabeg Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat. It is now home to many First Nation, Inuit, and Métis communities. We acknowledge the current treaty holders, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. This territory is subject of the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement to peaceably share and care for the Great Lakes region. The Mid-Career Conversation series was created with alumni like you in mind. It is a special opportunity for us to come together as York alumni to share our stories and experiences. I'd like to take a quick second to introduce myself. I graduated from the Schulich School of Business at York University with an MACC in 2015, and I'm proud to give back to the community that helped launch my career. I worked for some of the world's largest corporations in entertainment and consumer products before starting my own marketing agency. Since then, I've been nominated and won several awards for creative marketing. Outside of work, you'll find me at the Montreal School of Jewelry, learning silversmith or practicing aerial silks and circus arts. I look forward to connecting you and learning more about you all in our breakout rooms or on LinkedIn. For today's conversations, our storyteller will deliver about 20-minute talk. Then afterwards, we will take questions from you, our guests. As always, we ask that your comments be relevant and respectful. Feel free to use the chat now and move before entering. Feel free to use the chat now by entering where you're tuning in from. After the Q&A, we'll stop recording and move into breakout rooms for about 10 minutes for the networking portion of the event, after which we'll return to the main room for the final remarks. You are encouraged to have your video on so we could see each other and for the storyteller to see you as well. As per Zoom meeting etiquette, we ask that you stay on mute until the networking time. Finally, please consider editing your screen name to include your first name, your last name, your preferred pronouns, degree, and graduate year. So for example, for myself, it's Natalia Kaplan, she, her pronouns, MACC 15. You can do this by clicking rename in the Zoom menu. Now, I'm very excited to welcome our storyteller for today, Dolly Shao, founder and managing director at Glow Communications and Marketing Instructor at the Schulich School of Business. Welcome, Dolly.
Thank you, Natalie.
You're welcome. So excited to hear you speak. Floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Give me a second. Let me share my screen. Okay. Cool. Okay, I may not be able to see your faces, but feel free to interrupt if you have any question. Again, thank you so much for this great opportunity. And my name is Dolly. I'm a proud Schulich alum from 2011. I wear different hats in life. So I help brands build authentic connections with the Asian community. I teach marketing to bright young minds and moonlight as a social media influencer on WeChat. I did have two corporate jobs in the past decade. They're both related to Schulich. So I was in China running Schulich Executive Education Centre's business there. And also I helped nurture corporate relations at Center for Career Design at Schulich last year. So each role I've had has taught me valuable lessons in networking, so which I'm very excited to share with you today. And as a seasoned entrepreneur, always hustling for business opportunities, my entire career has been built on networking. So one principle I live by and love to share is passion plus persistence equals to possibilities. So this mindset has shaped my journey, and I hope it resonates with you today. So I have no problem walking into a room full of strangers. However, networking could be challenging for others. So today, within like 20 minutes, I'm going to share a little bit my learnings and also a few proven tactics on how to initiate engaging conversations and build and nurture meaningful, lasting relationships to help you thrive in any setting. Because whether you are a working professional aiming to advance your career or a business owner seeking a partner, effective networking is an essential skill. And to me, networking is everywhere. So whether you realize it or not, every conversation, every introduction, and every shared experience holds up potential to open doors to new opportunities. So a little bit fun fact. The reason I'm here today is that I attended a mid-career conversation event last October. And afterwards, I decided to reach out to Nicole on LinkedIn to share some feedback and also introduce myself. So this simple action led to this opportunity to connect with all of you today. And I guess this experience is a perfect example of how networking opportunities are everywhere. If you're willing to take the first step, but before you do that, you need to be prepared. So preparation is key because your first impression can either open doors or close them. Dress to impress, although we often say not to judge a book by its cover, but we always do, don't we? And your appearance communicates your professionalism even before you speak. That's why I choose this bold color today and kind of give you a little bit idea of how I'm an optimistic person. And from confident handshake and to thoughtful communication, business ethic demonstrate respect and professionalism. So for dress to impress, you need to dress for the occasion, like tailor your outfit to the event. For example, today I'm a speaker. That's why I put a little bit formal attire. But if you're going to, business casual event or creative event, you definitely can, dress for the occasion. But when in doubt, always choose a more polished look. Statement accessories. I'm obsessed with accessories. Maybe you can tell a little bit from what I wear today. So use accessory to express your personality and confidence. Like a bold watch, elegant jewelry, or sleek handbag. Well-kept hair, like clean nails and polished shoes can elevate your entire look. And a little bit tips to stand out in the crowd. Always be confident. Wear your outfit confidently. It's the best accessory you can have. And stand tall, make eye contact. Add a bit personal touch to your outfit that reflects your personality. For example, if you're attending an event hosted by TD Bank, I would probably suggest you pick, a greenish outfit. Vice versa, if you're going to a Scotiabank event, maybe you want to try a red one. And attention to detail is very important. We always say details in the devil, or devil's in the details, sorry. Pay attention to those small details, like matching your belt with your shoes. Ensure your overall appearance is polished and put together. And one more tip, always smile. Smile can light up a room and bring good luck your way. Other than appearance, impression management also involves how you behave. So it's about how you communicate and build relationships in a respectful and thoughtful way. Phone calls. Always introduce yourself clearly and confirm it's a good time to talk. We find like a little bit annoying someone just call out of blue. So most of days now, we probably will just send a quick message. So do you have 10 minutes to talk? Something like that. And also for emails, use a clear subject line, professional tone, and concise content. Always proofread. So you can use like a Grammarly. So I subscribe a Grammarly professional version, and always use Grammarly to proofread my email before sending it. In-person meeting, which we will explain a bit more later on. So be punctual, attentive, and be prepared. And gifting. This is an interesting part because where I came from, I originally from Shanghai, China. In Asia, gifting is a huge thing, especially these days, it's a Chinese New Year and we want to, give gifts to each other, either friends, your neighbor, someone, help. But I guess in North American culture, gifting may not be that huge, but I will always say it's the thought that counts. So probably you can give a thoughtful gift that strengthens relationships, but always be mindful of cultural and organizational guidelines. For example, when I worked for Schulich in China, we were told we cannot give a gift more than $50 to our clients. So sometimes it's just a thank you card can also express your gratitude. Networking. So that's the key topic for today, and it involves both offline and online. For online presence, you definitely want to establish a strong online presence through a professional website and active social media channel, for example, LinkedIn. So for LinkedIn, you will need a professional photo, some headline, summary, your experience, education, skills, recommendation. And also, I will strongly recommend you engage with others on your network. So either like their post, comment, repost, or share your own findings or learnings every day or every week, depending on how you involved in like LinkedIn. And also for personal social media platform, for example, WeChat, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, although I doubt still people use Facebook. But for those like more on personal level, I will suggest you have like a privacy setting, make it boundaries, because sometimes you don't want to share your personal life with your professional networks. For example, I have a great friend. She's very into belly dancing, but she doesn't watch. But during the daytime, she is a professional accountant. So she's trying to differentiate that two personalities on her Instagram profile. And here I'm going to talk about the 4 tactics for attending offline events. So events can help increase your exposure to the right audience, but it's important to be selective. Do not attend event for the sake of attending. Focus on events that align with your goals and provide opportunities to connect with individuals who are relevant to your business. And also attending events can feel like blind dating. Don't expect to make a deal right away. Often you may only connect with 1 or 2 people, but if you leave with a few business cards to follow up on, that's already a great success. It's about building relationships over time, not rushing for immediate results. And read the agenda thoroughly before attending. Be aware of who the organizers, sponsors, speakers, panelists, and participants are. Check the website or LinkedIn of those who could introduce you. and prepare your elevator pitch or some questions you want to ask. So I guess we all have heard of elevator pitch. Either you are, starting your own business, you want to introduce your business to your potential investor partner, or you're looking for opportunities, you want to introduce yourself. So always prepare kind of a 30 seconds to 60 seconds elevator pitch. Be enthusiastic about what you do. Be relatable. So you probably need to have a few different versions of your elevator pitch. So if you're going to a more business-related networking, so you want to introduce about your business, but if you go into a more social setting, so you might want to introduce a few fun facts about you. Be memorable. So don't get like so bored about the thing you do. Trying to put a bit twist into your introduction, and also be brief, because we mentioned it's only have 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Otherwise, it won't be called elevator pitch. I guess you probably can practice that when we have a breakout room later on. Small talk and elevator pitch are different. So small talk involves engaging with the other person. So small talk is a great way to break the ice and establish rapport with strangers in just a few moments. One effective tactic is offering compliments. It always works. So for example, women often dress up for events. So their hairstyles, outfits, makeup, accessories can be excellent conversation starters. But just be sure your compliments are genuine, with thoughtful words and a sincere tone. And if you're sitting at a table with several strangers, or standing, standing behind a bar, beside a bar with a few attendees, your small talk should be inclusive rather than focusing too much on just one person and ignoring others. That's considered very rude. Try to find topics that everyone can participate in, such as weather, traffic, pets, celebrities, or vacations. Don't get involved into those more serious conversation. Otherwise, it won't be called small talk. And follow-up is the key. As you hone your small talk skills and connect with someone at event, you're enjoying a pleasant conversation and adding them to a network, get them LinkedIn connected. However, networking is all about striking while the iron is hot. So when you meet someone new, don't let the connection get cold. Follow up while the interaction is still fresh in their mind, but also need to be patient, because the other person may not be responding to you right away. So you will need to follow up, in a week time, later on. In terms of the follow-up coffee chat, there are a couple do's and don'ts. Do your research. Again, just like you attend a networking event, you may have talked to the person, but you may want to get to know more about their website, their business, their LinkedIn profile, and be punctual. My professor used to say there is no saying called be punctual, because you're either early or late. So I would personally suggest be there 5 minutes late, so give you settle down. Dress appropriately. If you are meeting someone just at Starbucks, definitely on Friday afternoon, right? You can dress jeans, smart casual. But if you're meeting someone in their office, so you may want to dress up a little bit, and also prepare questions. And also after that coffee chat, you will need to follow up as well. Do not dominate conversation. It's not about you. It's about how you two can building rapport. So ask questions, give some response, talk a little bit about yourself, but also about others. Don't ask for something directly, either a job or business connection. That is way too transactional. Don't be distracted, like put your phone on mute. Don't forget to be grateful, which is thank you the person to give you time, either just for lunch or coffee chat, 30 minutes, an hour, show your gratitude. A network isn't meant to be, kind of a reservoir of accumulation. Instead, the value lies in the frequency of deposits and withdrawals. So when someone does a favor for you, for another, it's like making a deposit into their network. When they ask for a favor, it's about to withdrawing from it. So most people don't feel comfortable asking for help. But my understanding is for a network to stay active, it needs to be used. So sometimes asking for help, of course, avoid being annoying, okay? Allows others to activate their networks and reminds them of your presence. Those who never ask for help often remain limited by their own capabilities. And also it's important to note, however, that this doesn't mean one should expect immediate returns when helping others, as doing so would turn the relationship into something transactional. So a healthy relationship network is like you have frequency, deposit, and withdrawal. So I always like to wrap up with a quote for my marketing class at Schulich or Centennial College. The quote for today is, it's, always have to start you to be great. In a sense, mastering your small talk skills enables you to make connections effectively. Cultivating an active network takes time and effort, which not only enhances your professional opportunities, but also enriches your personal life with meaningful connections. So I hope today's talk gives you a fresh perspective and a renewed eagerness to expand your network, turning every encounter into a meaningful step toward a more connected and supportive community. I'm looking forward to connect with you on LinkedIn or at the breakout room later on. And feel free, I'm excited to take any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dolly, for sharing your story, your experience, and so much advice with us. You're definitely making me reconsider my little bow tie sweater for the day, but I thought it was a fun, quirky shirt, so I should have worn a blazer, my fun blazer instead. So, let's open things up for questions. Please use the Q&A function to ask your questions in the chat. We expect all the questions to be relevant and respectful. I actually have a few questions for you, Dolly, if you don't mind me starting this off while
Go
people
ahead.
join us. You've given us a lot of advice on how to make an impression, but my question to you is, how do you make an impression in a large networking event where it might not be small groups or individual contacts?
Yes. So it is a little bit tricky, both for big events or small events. So first of all, again, I'm saying like you have to be prepared. I imagine like especially for some Schulich event or other business event, most people will choose like a dark conservative suit, use bright color, some statement accessory, to make you shine in the room when you walk in. And also, if it's a large networking event, you probably want to be observant, like to see who you want to reach out. And it may depend. Sometimes it's pure of luck because again, you never know who is who, right? But they have their name tag. And if you pass by and see something interesting, definitely can start any conversation. And also, if you go to any large like networking event, I always suggest you have a buddy with you. So it's easy to start a conversation and introduce each other. That's a lot easier for, to introduce yourself, right? So, and with a buddy, it's a lot easier to walk around and chat. And that's just my small tip.
I love it. I guess I have a quick follow-up to that. You mentioned accessories, you mentioned standing out. Is is there a thing as too much? Can you have too much personality in a networking event?
Um, it really depends on your personality, I guess. Sometimes we say less is more, right? So you only want like one or two statement accessory because today I only show, top of my area. So I only use this bright brooch and matching earring to make it pop. And if going those events, there are certain people will go a bit too much. It just depends on their personality. I will say less is more. So if you already have one statement piece and you just want to highlight that, and you don't want to go with a lot. I think there will be another talk about how you can dress, not going too much, because I think, you know, your makeup, your hair, everything, like we usually say you don't go like more than 2 colors. Color matching, always best tip. Make it coordinate color, and don't get like 3 colors. And if you have some pattern on your shirt, on your blazer, you don't want to have, unless it's matching pants. Otherwise, you don't want to have, you know, plates and here and those like polka dot on your pants. That's way too much. But if it's a creative person getting together, that will be another story. So I've been to those events as well. You will just be wowed by those people, how creative they are. But that's part of their, we'll call the label, right? That's, they want to leave the impression.
Yes, I've got a couple questions here from the audience, actually. One on the tail of this question, so I'll start with that one, which is, what advice do you have for those who are culturally centered, who do not wear makeup and such? How would you advise them to present themselves in an environment?
Yes, I do see some people they do not like, personally they just don't like to apply any makeup. But I guess I will say, if they are allowed to choose a little bit bright color, even it's maybe not the bright color like the blazer I have, you can have a dark suit like dark navy blue or dark, but you can have a little bit personal touch on that. For example, you can have a scarf, right? A little bit earrings. So also nail color. So that's kind of, I will say, little nice personal touch will make it a difference.
I love that piece of advice. I've got a couple more questions here for you. What tools would you recommend to manage our network and contacts beyond using LinkedIn? How would you continue that conversation?
Yes. Unfortunately, LinkedIn is still the dominant like professional social media platform. I know there are quite a few different platforms trying to beat that, but none of them has been successful, because once you have your personal like professional network there, it's very like the switching cost is way too high. I think here in Canada, not only LinkedIn, we also use email. And I will say the key is to be thoughtful. So for example, recently I met someone at a networking event. She is in insurance industry, and but after that, I see some like news relevant to that industry, I may just send a quick note. So you may be interested in reading this article or something like that. But I know it's very challenging, you know, to manage too many. So I guess we could go old school style. So you have Excel sheet or you have other two, right? And you know, you kind of just, it's like because I'm hustling for business all the time. So it's like having a pipeline, right? So who do you think you want to keep long-term relationship? So you have their names, their industry. So you're kind of regularly reviewing that. And you just you know, again, remember that network thing, you always, you know, want to ask for a favor, do someone a favor, make it active. So that is a piece of advice from me.
I love it. And if I may add, someone once gave me the advice, if that helps anyone, is if you met someone who has a specific industry or is famous, you could put a Google alert with their name and their industry. So that way you can find those articles about them and you could start that conversation as well to reach out and say, hey, Dolly, I saw your name pop up on the York University website. How are you doing?
Yes.
Or I
Yep.
saw your company name, etc. So a couple more questions coming in. Love these questions. Um, I was wondering how to smoothly end a conversation. I always end up lingering for a second too long. Ooh, I love that.
Okay, so let's give a scenario. For example, going to a business networking event. So when you approach someone, you first say, hey, how are you doing? How is your traffic coming? If it's in downtown, right? Or the traffic going on. And you can start to compliment or acknowledge someone's outfit or the stuff. Oh, I love your, for example, let me try, this is a male object instead of, because always trying to accomplish, always trying to compliment the female's top, right? So I want to try a guy's style. So you can say, oh, I love your hairstyle, or I love, oh, what you're drinking here, right? If you meet someone in the bar, how does it taste? You're a big drinker. So it's mostly depending on what you want to talk about. So if you want to introduce your business, it's just because it's a business networking, everyone expect that. So you will say, oh, you start with where, you're coming from downtown, your office in downtown. Oh, my office is, a few blocks away. I just walk here so I can avoid the traffic. What do you do? Then you can go from there. It really doesn't have one formula. It has to be like, practice makes perfect. You just have to do a lot of different practice, and you may have a few. It's like customer service, they have like decision tree. So if you say that, we go this way. If you say the other things, we go that way. But again, you just have to practice. And I will say you probably need to go with someone together. Then you kind of like maybe someone more easy to talk to, like easy to start this conversation. So kind of learn from that. And also watch, sitcom, all the stuff. Those can also be great starter. Like for example, I watched like the most recent CBC Dragon's Den, or not most, but one of the CBC Dragon's Den like become very viral on the not just China on social media and also on Chinese social media. That was Simu Liu challenge a business an owner, I think it's from Quebec, right? About they're doing the bubble tea thing. So these all small talk you can start with. Like for example, if you're talking bubble tea, hey, have you watched that episode? Yeah, talking about this thing. How do you feel like bubble tea? There are different ways to do that. I can't just give one formula, but I guess they may give you a little bit sense.
I like that. And how would you, in the same vein, how would you end a conversation though? When do you know it's time to walk away and how do you walk away?
Yeah, that's also tough. Usually, I don't know if someone think this is a good idea or bad, but usually say, "Oh, I'm just have to go to the bar or grab something to eat." I, just kind of end that, and also say, "Oh, excuse me, I may check the phone." So, oh, I have to expect someone from my company as well. I have to go out to greet them, something like that. And also, you can smoothly introduce someone else. Say, oh,
Mm.
hey, they're just talking about something interesting. You might be interested. I'll leave you to discuss, so I guess that's just how you can leave.
I love that. And that's an easy way to also look very friendly is being able to introduce someone else
Yes,
before you leave, or
yes.
even just at any point. I've got a couple more questions for you. Wow, you guys are so active. I love this. Um, what are some tips or pieces of advice you can give to help someone hype themselves up, excite themselves before an event, aside from dressing well? How could you get energetic and ready for a conversation and networking? How do you do it?
You just have to love doing networking. You can just like feel someone pushed you there, right? I guess I personally love to meet new people. I love to hear their stories. Like I just feel like everyone is interesting. I just genuinely like enjoying networking. But I understand there are some we call introvert, right? They don't really want to go there. Again, they have to go with someone extrovert together. And also about the opportunity. They again in one of my slides, I said you have to be selective, right? So those events, you think it will be helpful to your personal network or professional network, and you trying to find those kind of interest you, not just because AI is a huge thing. I just have to go to AI like conference, but maybe you are not supposed to learn so much detailed stuff about those AI, right? I just kind of a little bit theme, like you will need to find the right theme for you, then you generally will be excited, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the themes. And as someone who is an extroverted introvert, if I may give the advice that I almost have built a personality for going and doing events. So there's me at home and I'm a little bit quieter and shyer. And then there's me hosting an event and chatting with people. And if that helps you being able to put on that personality hat, that character that you have to play, sometimes that kind of helps alleviate that stress and that anxiety before you go to the events, is saying, you know what, it's me, extrovert me going out now, not introvert me going out. So I've got one more question here, unless someone else wants to send me another question. But what are some general knowledge topics? You had mentioned AI, for example, but are there other topics you try to keep up to date in order to help your conversations when you feel like there's a slowdown or there might be an interesting topic? What things do you keep up to date? What would you recommend people to keep up to date and how?
I think I always see myself as a generalist rather than specialist. So that's why I can pick up a lot of small talks. So I definitely listen to the rate like news, watch the news, and something happening in the community, the marketing community, the multicultural marketing community, the cultural community, and also LinkedIn on LinkedIn. So there are a lot of things going on LinkedIn. So for me, it is again generalist. It means you have to just skim through a lot of different things without going into too details. I think reading like watching news, reading news, that's definitely helps you to build your knowledge base, reading some books, chatting with a friend sometimes, because everyone has blind spot. So you tend to read things you're more interesting to, but the reason why we need like a network or support system is because everyone can give their different perspective. So chat with your friends regularly. You can get new inspiration, right? For example, I think one of my friends is here. Um, we have like common friend. She did quite a few pop-up during the holiday season and kind of opened a different world for us in terms of the vintage stuff.
Mm.
So my friend went there to support this friend's pop-up and ended up buying quite a few vintage items. Like it's just like different things. It make you interesting, make you a fun person. So again, that is a small example, but I think you need to have like quite a few different friends. Keep chatting with your friends, getting different inspiration.
Yes, and you had mentioned news, like definitely news agglomerates who give you summarized news that helps. I think there's a couple of email services that send you in your
Yes.
inbox like
Yeah.
top 20 headlines so you could just keep up to date if you're a busy
Try a
person.
few different website if you're interested.
Yes, exactly. I've got one more question here. Do you carry business cards? What kind of information do you put on your cards? And do you use digital business cards apps that you could put contact in the phone? So, a couple of questions for you.
Yeah. Interesting. I do have business cards. I carry business cards, but it really depending on the audience. Sometimes we'll say, "Oh, let's just connect on LinkedIn." So then you just put up your phone and scan the QR code, and you just get on LinkedIn. Or there are some, in Chinese business community, sometimes, "Oh, let's add each other on WeChat again using your phone," right? But business card, I think it helps because it give you a kind of a little bit credential, like who you are, what do you want to convey. And because sometimes people, LinkedIn, you may add quite a few different people, and if you do not follow up, you probably forget, right? That's why I said you need to have a frequent online presence, like the posts, comment the posts, share posts, and draft your own posts, right? And business card, you can keep it there, and you will, if you need something or someone, if you review those things, and you will see that business card. And I do have someone reach out to me, both on LinkedIn and also send email like afterwards. So I think business card is still important these days, at least here in North America.
I totally agree. If anything, I feel like the business card is making a comeback, a physical card. Like you said, we get so many invites every single day on LinkedIn, even on emails, that sometimes it just gets lost in the shuffle. But if I get a business card from someone and I put it on my desk, I have a stack on my
Yeah,
desk.
me
I
too.
see this business card and I think, oh, I have to remember to contact this person. So I find that for me, at least as a business owner, as someone who contacts and goes to a lot of networking events, physical cards just adds an extra layer of memory for people, especially if like your outfits, you can make something unique out of your business cards. If you can make something bright and colorful that shows your vibrancy and your personality, makes it a little bit more memorable. All right. Well, thank you, Dolly, and thank you to all the audience members for all these great questions. We're going to move over to the networking portion of the event. In a few moments, you're going to be prompted to join a breakout room with 2 or 3 other alumni. There should be icebreaker questions there that will be broadcast right into your room. Should you choose to use them, you don't have to. And you'll have about 10 minutes to connect with everyone, and then you'll be invited back to the main room for final remarks. So happy networking to everyone, and we'll see you in a bit. All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. Oh, I see there's still some stragglers, so I'm going to give it 2 more seconds as everyone joins us back. All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. Hopefully, you all had a chance to connect and learn more about each other. Thank you again, Dolly Shaw, for joining us today and sharing some great insights on networking. I'm definitely going to be applying those insights myself. This concludes our Mid-Career Conversations virtual event. Thank you all for attending. We look forward to hosting you at our next session. Mid-career conversations will return in February, which is just this week, but we will be sending out more details on our next guest speaker, Jamie Reed, BA03, founder of Bright Birch Collective and Bright Start Freelancer Community. Don't forget to join us on Connecting You, York's exclusive online networking and mentoring platform for alumni and students. Find mentors, mentees, and networking and interest groups based on what matters most to you. So thank you again, everyone, and take care.
No? Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us once again, and we hope to see you at our next event coming up in February. Have a great rest of the day.